What was your last normal photo? This is the InsideEdition.com coronavirus news for May 19th, 2020. As we enter what feels like week 1,000 of lockdown, many people are thinking back to those days in early March when things were quote unquote normal. They've been sharing the last pre-lockdown picture from their phones using the hashtag LastNormalPhoto. Here are some of InsideEdition.com's last normal pictures. For video editor Courtney, it was a shot from March 8th of some friends cleaning up a park in Queens, New York. She thought it was funny one of her friends was dressed like Luigi from Mario Brothers. For associate producer Jordan, it was a March 10th photo he took on the subway. The backpack has a tiny vial of hand sanitizer. For managing editor Caitlin, it was a snap of Irish singer-songwriter Dermot Kennedy at a packed Radio City Music Hall concert on March 5th. It would be one of the last events at the venue. For director of content Kevin, it was a post-haircut selfie sent to his wife on March 7th. The next haircut happened at home. For video editor Eric, it was a picture of his daughter and a friend on March 13th, their last non-social distanced playdate. For digital reporter Sal, it was a shot of him and Nelson Mandela's grandson Indaba. It was taken after their interview in studio on March 11th, the last thing we shot there. For digital reporter Maya, it was this funny shot of her sitting on a friend's giant beanbag. Date, March 14th. Here are some other last photos from the InsideEdition.com team.
Of course, for me, my last day of normalcy involved Broadway. We were so thankful to get that shoot day in, and it actually turned out to be that Tuesday, March 10th, was the very last performance of Beetlejuice on Broadway.
My last photo of normal is this video I took of my friend testing out automatic scooters at this fancy electronics store. This was probably about mid-March, and I remember retail workers were already telling us that the shops were empty, the streets were empty. I think at that point people were already getting pretty cautious about leaving the house. But I just remember, we were browsing, we were not hand sanitizing our hands, I'd taken off my mask, I was touching things without wiping them down. That all sounds so crazy to me now.
My last normal photo was a picture of our cat Grendel sitting in our living room on a shirt without a care in the world. It was taken on the morning of the last day that we were in the office at InsideEdition.com. The next photo in my phone shows a picture of our empty office as we turned off the lights and left, and we haven't been back since.
This picture, taken on March 12th, pretty much summed up how I felt on my first day of quarantine as I left the office. Needless to say, nearly 70 days later, we're in a little bit of a rhythm here, and we've both calmed down substantially.
And as for yours truly, Stephanie Officer, the last normal picture I took was on March 10th. This is a shot of myself and actor and singer Quincy Brown at an event launch in Manhattan. He was so warm, so inviting. It was the first time we'd met, but he immediately greeted me with a hug. And I think that was the last hug I had since then. So, just another example of how the novel coronavirus has warped our entire lives. Now, another story of pictures in the pandemic.
Good, cute. Look at each other.
This Pennsylvania wedding photographer has had to change the way she does things in this season of social distancing. She spoke to CBS News' Nancy Chen.
We're usually shooting a lot of weddings, but things look a little different now.
She's still taking pictures, doing screen captures from FaceTime sessions.
They place the phone down somewhere. We make sure it's a pretty good spot with some decent lighting. And then I crack jokes to them. I have them snuggle and just do different prompts.
Her goal, as always, is to capture those special moments between couples. And she doesn't need a fancy high-end camera to do that.
That's cute. Put your hand on his face a little bit.
And her clients don't seem to mind.
In the years to come, we'll be like, oh, you remember that time we were quarantined in our parents' basement and we got these really cool pictures done?
And Inside Edition's Diane McInerney reports on another novel coronavirus-era twist on weddings.
I'm happy to pronounce that you are husband and wife. Congratulations.
They're getting married in a parking lot. With wedding venues shut down, Jess Irby, the court clerk in Gainesville, Florida, resurrected an old drive-through window that hadn't been used in nearly 20 years.
I had no idea it was going to be this well received.
He's not kidding. With Irby officiating safely behind a glass window, 46 couples drove or walked through to say their I do's.
Of my commitment and love.
Irby and his team decorated the parking lot Vegas style. Even those ugly orange traffic cones got a festive makeover, and a string trio, socially distancing and wearing masks, played that classic Elvis love song. Alejandro and Damaris couldn't wait to get married.
It's not what you would imagine, but it was the right thing for the right moment. It was beautiful and hilarious at the same time.
And no waiting around for wedding venues to reopen for these guys.
We didn't want to wait that long. We realized that we wanted what we wanted and we wanted it now.
Love in the time of COVID-19.
There are more than 4.8 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 worldwide and almost 320,000 deaths. For more on the novel coronavirus pandemic, visit InsideEdition.com.